no, I think it will just be a good wicket. There's no grass on it, so there won't be much.
Hi everybody, welcome to our new series, Pe Charcha with Yash Khandor. Today we have with us featuring Mr. Mahesh Kutty. Hey, hi Mahesh, how are you?
I'm good. I'm from Mumbai. It's a gorgeous, bright, pleasant climatic conditions, and I think we're going to have great fun on this show.
Sounds like a cricket expert, right? You say good morning and he talks about the weather and the pitch. Perfect. That's very nice to have you, Mahesh. And a very good evening to all the folks here in the US and a good morning to everybody out there in Mumbai and other parts of the world. This is a new series, Pe Charcha. So we have our teas with us. I'm pretty sure Mahesh has his too.
Yes.
That's nice. That's
You're
a
ready.
good start. And we are here to discuss different games, pre-games, post-games, during the games, maybe something like the Combox. And Mahesh is one of our cricket experts from back in India. He works with the HW English News channel on YouTube. So many people know him out there. So this is an opportunity for all of us at ICN 360 to collaborate with you. And it's a pleasure.
Thank you. I'm really looking forward to some great talk on cricket.
Absolutely. So we are here today for obviously for the Australia versus India ODI series and the T20 series that are coming up. Some interesting team selections, I must say, to say the least, and lots at stake, especially with this being their last series, major series before the World Cup, because they play Zimbabwe next in a couple of T20s, I guess, and a test match, which is not really match practice. Australia still have a few games because they play Pakistan in another 5 ODIs in the UAE, but for India, a big tournament.
Very true. And this is the last opportunity to get their team right. I think by itself, the team is selected on the basis of recent performance. And I think 11, 12 players make their way into the team without too much of issues. It will be only the last 2-3 spots that will be up for grabs, to be honest. Okay. And that three positions will have at least about 10 people gunning for it. So it's going to be a very interesting thing. The good thing for most players is that they're playing in home conditions, which is not going to be the same condition that they play in England. So I presume the selectors would have kept that in mind. And like what you said, there's some very interesting selections for this ODI. Primarily, I was very surprised that Dinesh Karthik did not make it to the 15 in the one-day series. I think he makes this. I think he's there in the T20, but not in the one-day series, which is very, very surprising because to me, Dinesh Karthik is the best finisher that India has as of today. So, yeah, but you never know. I was very surprised the way Vijay Shankar played, and he's got a call. So I think one of the reasons why Dinesh Karthik would not have made it is because now India have got Kedar Jadhav and Vijay Shankar, two very good players. And then, of course, Hardik Pandya, once he came in, he's going to be a definite choice. So it's going to be interesting. The next 5 one-dayers are going to be absolutely interesting.
Totally right. And you mentioned 11 or 12 players just make the cut and it's just the last 3 positions. And you know the best part this time, as a cricket fan from India, we're not talking about bowlers. You mentioned Pandya, you mentioned Jadhav, you mentioned Raidu, you mentioned Karthik, you mentioned Vijay Shankar, you mentioned everybody who is a batsman or a batting all-rounder. How many times has this happened previously in Indian cricket that we don't discuss bowlers? This is just...
You know, Yash, we are in a very, very good zone. We've got fantastic bowlers. We've won a lot of matches because of our bowling unit. And if you look at our medium pacers, I wouldn't want to call them medium pacers. They're pretty quick. They're as quick as the Australian bowlers were. So Bumrah is world number 1. Bhuvi is going to be very, very good in English conditions. Shami was bowling out of his life. He was fantastic. And then you've got 2 brilliant spinners. So, I mean, the bowlers have just walked into the side. Just imagine somebody like Ravindra Jadeja, who otherwise would have definitely made it to the 11 or maybe at least to the 15, might not make it simply because our spinners are fantastic and they are the wicket-taking bowlers. Like what I told earlier in another show was that for a team to win, the team that plays well between the 15th and the 40th over will be in all likelihood the team that will go to win because they will pick up wickets. And these spinners, both of them, like we call them as Kulcha, that is Kuldeep and Chahal. Yeah, these guys are amazing, right? They don't give runs. They pick up wickets. They keep the pressure onto on the batsman.
Mm-hmm.
So I think India have got their bowling well sorted out. It's only who is going to play the middle order. The openers are well sorted out. The number 3 is sorted out. So maybe we've got about 2 or 3 positions left. So it should be interesting.
Definitely. And so, you know what? There are a lot of good points. I think we can go stepwise. Let's start with the batting order. So starting with the openers, like you said, Rohit and Dhawan, like there is no second thoughts about it. They have picked KL Rahul for this series with Rohit Sharma going through so much travel, going and visiting his family, coming back and stuff like that. I think he might be rested for a while, maybe a couple of ODIs, and then he'll be rested and KL Rahul gets a game. I feel KL Rahul is an extraordinary white ball player. In general, a very good player, but white ball specifically, his runs that he got against England Lions for India A in the recent concluded game, fantastic. That must have done his confidence a world of good. But Rohit and Dhawan, man, like I have some numbers. They are the most successful opening pair in T20s across the globe. Second most after Saurav and Sachin in 1 days. Just look at the numbers. January 2017 onwards, 5,589 runs at an average of 64.98, which is almost 65.
Amazing.
25 partnerships of 100 plus and 12 partnerships of 50 plus. That speaks volumes. Like that is just humongous amount of runs that they have scored. So obviously, like you said, the openers just make the cut, right? Like,
True.
Or would you want to tinker around a little? Maybe, you know, if what happens if KL Rahul, let me put this out to you. You allow KL Rahul to play, he gets like 2 or 3 centuries. He plays 5 games, he gets 2 centuries under his belt. I know it's Indian conditions, it will be English conditions there, but how much is it going to matter? It's going to be a little late summer, but still summer.
You know what? I would still pick up KL Rahul because when you're playing a tournament like the World Cup and it's going to be played over a period of time, there are chances of injuries that can happen. So you would want to, ensure that there is a third opener. And I think if you look at all the other players that are there, I think KL Rahul would be your third opener. Like what you said, he's a brilliant player. I mean, last time around the IPL, he set the stage on fire with some amazing innings. He's got a great variety of shots, So out of a good ball also he can score runs. Right. That is the key with KL Rahul. Well, he got into some mess in the later part of the last year, but that's okay. They're young. They do all these things. Yeah. Not that I'm advocating for him. The fact is that they've gone through the punishment, so they need to move ahead. And I think that KL Rahul is the right person as a third opener for the Indian squad for the World Cup. So I think they've come.
You still pick him as a backup opener, not as somebody who makes the cut to the 11 yet.
Oh, not at all. Because these guys have been playing brilliantly. I mean, look at Shikhar Dhawan and Rohit Sharma. You wouldn't want to, use the word tinker around with the opening. See, in a 50-over game or any limited over game, the engine room, as they call it, the 1, 2, and 3, they need to be in top condition. Okay. And I think that both Dhawan and Virat and Rohit Sharma have, over the past few years, been one of the reasons why India has succeeded. Correct. If you get off to a good start, and then Virat comes over and then the middle order takes over, I think more often than not, India will post a big total if they're setting the total, and if they're chasing, we need a great start. So no tinkering with that for the time being, at least.
You mentioned the top 3. Every time we speak about openers, it's the 1, 2, 3, right? Like the number 3 is extremely important. Rohit, Shikhar, and Virat. Since 2017 January, they have scored 50.2%, like over 50% of the runs, total runs that India has scored in this period. The second best after them is England, which is at 39%, if I'm not wrong, somewhere around that. That speaks volumes about it. But there's a very, very interesting comment that came very recently from Ravi Shastri. He said, he said, we might bat Kohli at 4 because why would you want your best player to get out early in a game? I would let you talk about it, and then I have a few points I want to say about it, because I'm not in favor of it, one. And second, there are some really, really basic fundamentals missing in this argument, I feel.
Okay. If I was Virat Kohli, I would bat at number 3. Primarily because your best batsman needs to play as many balls as possible.
Correct.
Pushing him. Look at somebody like Tendulkar. Tendulkar was asked to bat lower down. He refused. Correct. The same argument that he could get out, what is the guarantee if he comes at number 4, he doesn't get out? He can still get out. Okay.
Right.
So I'm not very sure whether that piece of advice that came in from Ravi Shastri, or the suggestion, or the thinking that they want Virat to bat at number 4 is fully justified, because see, he's a good player. Okay, there's no doubt about that. He can manage any conditions. And last time around, he played brilliantly in England. So it's not that he's low on confidence in England. He scored the maximum runs in England. So why would you want to, actually tell him to bat at number 4? By doing that, in fact, you're sending out a message to Virat himself that, boss, I don't think that you'll be able to succeed in these conditions. And that is very bad. According to me, he's the best player in the world. Damn it, if he can't play on those conditions, nobody can. So
Exactly. So that's what I was mentioning when I said there are some fundamentals missing in this argument. One, firstly, Virat decides where he has to bat, unless it is affecting the balance in the side. When you say Virat has to bat at 4, as long as it gives additional balance to the side, which it is not, I don't think it makes sense. Like you said, he's the best batsman in the world. If he can play, are you expecting Raidu to come at number? I'm not taking anything away from Raidu, but if you're saying Kohli might get out, even Raidu might get out. Instead of being 1 for 0, you might be 2 for 0. Like who knows? Like, why would you make such an argument? And then you said, like, imagine somebody walking up to Virat Kohli in the dressing room. You know what? The conditions are a little dicey. They're a little tricky. Might as well bat down the order. How is he going to take it? We know he leads from the front. He's somebody who always wants to take the charge. So
True.
I don't think this argument holds true. I just wanted to bring it up because these are certain things which I have experienced and seen in the last 1 year with the Indian Test selection, where we miss out on a Rahane when needed in South Africa, on a Pujara when we need him in England, or a Bhuvaneshwar Kumar when we need him in friendly bowling, seaming conditions in South Africa. And then the series scoreline is different from what it would have been. So I hope it doesn't go that way. It stays that Virat bats at 3. Then coming to number 4, there's Raidu, which I think the Indian management has kind of decided that, okay, Raidu will bat at 4. And that wonderful 90 odd innings that he played against New Zealand, testing conditions, 4 wickets down, absolutely brilliant. He seems to have come of age. He wants to be there. His fitness is gone. His fielding is, I think he's one of the bottom ranked players in terms of fielding. I've seen him miss a lot on the boundary. I have a theory here. So like you say, Raidu at 4, Dhoni at 5. A chase of 200, 230, 250, 260, 270. I still feel Indian batting looks much more comfortable if Dhoni comes in at 4. If he comes in at 4, he doesn't panic. He knows it's a 260, 270 game. Doesn't matter if the run rate goes high. He holds the people together. I have had arguments from people across this ICN network, and they're like, he slows things down. He puts additional pressure on others. But I think he's made it very clear over the last year and a half. This is how I'm going to play. This is my role. Probably he's been told by the management or not. I'm not sure. But he's clear. This is how I play. This is how I'm going to score the runs. You play around me. Like Australia, for the example, he got the highest number of runs. He got 3 half centuries, 2 not outs in chases, and 80 odd in the final game. But he never finished the game technically. It was Dinesh Karthik in one, Kedar Jadhav in the other, and Virat Kohli in the third. He just stood there and anchored the innings because those were like 270, 280 totals. So what do you think? You should always go in with Raidu at 4 and then play Dhoni at 5, or this theory makes sense?
Okay, to me, Dhoni still got some fuel in the tank. Okay, make no mistake about it. I would not put the batting order on paper at the time of the toss. I would look at conditions. Okay, imagine we get off to a good start. Okay, and we see Dhoni has to come at between the 20th and the 30th over, whenever it is. It could be either 1 down, 2 down, whatever it is, because he needs time to settle down. That's a given. Okay, yeah, okay. So if you say that Raidu is going to come at number 4, Dhoni is going to come at number 5, I am not somebody who will actually subscribe to that school of thought. I would look at a condition like what you said. If you're chasing 260, 270, it's not a huge total. You could send Dhoni out because he'll keep taking the singles and keep the scoreboard moving. We need somebody to play a long innings when you're chasing 260, 270. Okay. If you're chasing over 300, then you need somebody to play a very quick innings as well. So then you could send somebody, you could throw in a pinch hitter like Hardik in between and tell him, okay, go hammer and tongs, get the run rate down, and then give Dhoni to, take it home. So if you look at overall, I wouldn't say that Dhoni has to bat at number 4 or number 5, but I look at the conditions and then take a call. As far as Raidu is concerned, I was not a big fan of Raidu till he scored the 90. Okay, to be very honest.
A lot of people
because,
were not.
Yeah, primarily because Raidu, in fact, like what you correctly mentioned, his fielding is not up to the mark.
Mm-hmm.
See, you might score 50, but if you give away 20 runs on your fielding, net result is that you're scoring only 30, which may not be the best thing to do. But he played a brilliant innings. That 90 actually just sealed his position to go to. And I mean, while I was not too much in favor of Raidu, but after that innings, I mentioned in one of the shows that this guy has just taken it away. I mean, there's no doubt about that. And he played brilliantly. Let's give him that credit. He played brilliantly. See, he's not getting younger by any stretch of the imagination. He's well past his 30s.
Mm-hmm.
So for somebody like him to make he's going to play his first World Cup at that age, I think he's done well for himself. Mm-hmm. I only hope that he goes and scores the runs, because if he doesn't do that, then I think, it will be a bad selection. But I'm very, very keen to see where Vijay Shankar, if play, where will he bat? Because Vijay Shankar batted number 3 and he played very well.
Right.
So
that was my next point. And I was like, you know what? I just, like you said, don't decide the batting order. I think we should shift the order a bit. Let's talk about the sureties in the side. So we got the top 5. Okay, let's say top 4. With Raidu, we'll keep in the mix. We got Hardik Pandya at 7. He has to play at 7. He's your number 1 all-rounder.
Yeah, no doubt.
Can fit anywhere. Perfect seaming all-rounder. You need that bowler. He gives you that added cushion to go with 2 seamers only and 2 spinners, which is what you want in the middle overs to control, especially with Kulcha getting you the wickets in the middle overs. So Hardik at 7. Say Kuldeep, Chahal, 8, 9. Bowlers, Bumrah has to play, so 10. So now there is one spot. Again, Shami. I'm a big Shami favor. Like I go in Shami's favor. People have been saying Bhuvi. A lot of discussions we had here off the field, off the shows. Like I play cricket in the league here, and people are like, oh no, Bhuvi, he's proven himself. But I feel it's like horses for courses kind of thing. But when somebody is in form, which Shami looks like, he seems to be in the form of his life. The last time I saw him bowl so good in white ball cricket was in 2015 World Cup, where he and Umesh Yadav set it on fire. And then the reverse swinging brilliance at Eden Gardens in a test match. And I was like, man, can he do this in one day? He's so good. And look at him. Like, he's come out from a very, very difficult personal situation, fitness. But now he seems to be in a state where you wake me up at 3 in the night. I'll come and release the ball. It'll be perfectly seam up. And you're going to get what I get. He's got pace. He can he can bounce the batsman out, and plus he can swing it. The only issue I have a little bit with him, he has the favor that Bhuvi is not 100% fit, so he gets the cut, and Bhuvi's not been 100%. And even his performances have been okay, but the death bowling. Shami, till the 40th over, maybe he will get you the wickets. He'll keep it tight. He gives you that nice vibe. He gives you the surety. When it comes to the death, Bhuvi has been phenomenal, along with Bumrah. So what do? You bowl Shami out by the 40 or the 42nd over and use Bumrah in a way that you have Bumrah for the end, say 5 overs probably. And then you start bowling him since the 42nd over. And then you shuffle between a couple of overs from the wrist spinners, or maybe Hardik bowls an over or 2. So that gets a little tricky. So Shami, Bhuvi. I mean, I'm not even mentioning Khalil, Siddharth Kaul or Umesh Yadav in this mix yet.
See, Shami, according to me, the rhythm bowler. Once he hits the rhythm, then he's almost unplayable. Mm-hmm. Like in Australia, we saw in Australia and New Zealand, we saw he was just fantastic. So if I was a selector, I would play him in the first few matches. And if you see that he's going for too many runs in the death overs, see, it's a confidence game, you know. If you're high on confidence, you'll come and drop the ball at the right place. Right now, like what you said, he's bowling he's in amazing form as a bowler. Mm-hmm. So my 11, definitely Shami makes it. Mm-hmm. But I'm like what you said, I'm very, very sad that I can't include Bhuvi. Yes. Because in English conditions with the ball swinging around. He can pick up for you the first two or three wickets in the first spell, and then there we are. We are in great position, right? If the opponents are chasing even 260, 270, if Bhuvi can come and pick up a few wickets in the first spell, then our spinners just take over, right?
Correct.
So now the task will be whether we would play with two spinners, whether we play with one spinner, include Bhuvi. That's a selection call that they need to take on the morning of the game. It's very difficult to take it right now. You look at the conditions and you see a little bit of grass. You look at the sky upwards, see gray clouds hovering around. Hey, this is a seaming wicket. Because if you include Kedar Jadhav, we have a spinner by itself, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because he can bowl at least about 4 or 5 overs without a problem. He's a very smart cricketer. According to me, he's one of the smartest cricketers. Along with Dhoni, I think they plot dismissals beautifully.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, so I would want to check the conditions before naming the 11.
Mm-hmm.
But if the sky is grey and there is a tinge of grass on the wicket, I go with Bhuvi and take three seamers. Hardik Pandya the fourth and a spinner.
Yes, and then when you do that, you have only one spinner, because if you play Kedar, there's no Shankar, there's no DK, no Pant then. So now coming to that one spot, that is the spot that's going to be discussed till we actually see the playing 11. Pant, Shankar, and Dinesh Karthik, and Kedar Jadhav. Now we have 4. Kedar Jadhav gives you that slingy action, smart bowler, like you said, good fielder, can finish games, definitely has shown he will finish games. Cheeky cricketer, he'll get you those odd shots, put the bowler off the rhythm, can play along with other people. He played with Dhoni, he played with Karthik, he played with different people.
True.
Shankar suddenly sprung up to the scene, shows a lot of promise. I still personally don't feel very confident with Shankar batting. He's got this lazy sixes that hit straight down the ground, but those grounds in New Zealand, I think, don't give you the reality. I would love to see if he gets a chance to play here in India, if he can clear those little larger boundaries. I know the English grounds are smaller, but not as small as the New Zealand ground. So he's good, but the competition that he has, like Kedar, next Dinesh Karthik, I don't know what wrong has this person done. He's just been a very underrated and unlucky cricketer over a period of time. He's really, really good. He refused a single the other day and people went crazy after him. Well, happens. I'm not justifying what he did was right. I probably would have been pissed if I was Krunal Pandya, and I think it was a wrong decision to send him back because the other person was striking at 209 per. Also, definitely doesn't make sense. But I don't know, if I'm Dinesh Karthik, I would be asking, like, whom? You ask the Almighty, you ask whom? Like, what is it that I've done wrong? Maybe I was born at the wrong time. That's the only answer I have. And last but not the least, Rishabh Pant. Of these 4, he's my pick. If you're going in with Raidu, I pick Rishabh Pant to play in that number 6 position just because of the X factor that he brings to the table. English conditions, 4 wickets down. What do you want? You want a Kedar Jadhav to come and bat? Maybe he can do it. He's shown in the past, but definitely not Shankar or Karthik because they haven't proven over a period of time that they bat long. Karthik can finish, Shankar can play a cameo. But Rishabh Pant, I'm not saying he's proven, but he's played tough situations. England, he's got a century. He's got century in Australia. And he's got that X factor. He can take the attack to the opposition. Smallish English grounds with his power that he has, the muscle. I think he makes my cut into the 11 at number 6. What are your thoughts?
Okay. The thing is that we've already got a baggage in Raidu as a poor fielder.
Correct.
Rishabh Pant's fielding ability in the boundary is also not too good. Okay.
Correct.
He's good behind the wickets.
Mm-hmm.
Not very good, but he's okay. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
With Dhoni in the team, he's going to keep wickets.
Oh, yeah. Anybody who plays has to not keep it because Dhoni is there. Even Karthik doesn't keep. Simple.
Nobody can keep. And I think Dhoni is far superior to all of them.
Oh, yeah.
Because he can get you a wicket by himself.
Exactly.
So there's no, let's not even discuss that. But Rishabh Pant, I'm not very sure about his fielding ability. So he either needs to field inside the circle because I don't think from the boundary he can't affect a run out, a close run out. I don't think he can do that.
Mm-hmm.
Given that thing, Rishabh Pant, I don't know whether he would be the best number 6 batsman for us. I would go with Kedar Jadhav. because Kedar Jadhav gives you two dimensions. He gives you a bowling option. See, we can't play with just 5 bowlers because there's always, I mean, anybody can have an off day. Even Bumrah can have an off day. So you need cover. And I think Kedar Jadhav will give you that cover. And that is very important. So number 4, Raidu. Number 5, Dhoni. Number 6, Kedar Jadhav. It would be for me.
Right. So if you play Raidu, you have to play Jadhav. That's right, because you need 6 bowlers. Yes. But what if you don't play Raidu? You play Dhoni.
That's a very, very good
option. Then you play Kedar and then you play Pant.
Yeah, I could play Pant there. Okay. But I haven't seen Pant finishing a match. Okay. I would be very, very keen to see whether he can finish one of the matches when he plays against Australia and India. See, to finish a match, you also need a lot of experience. Okay. It's not that if you need 30 in 12 balls, you need to hit all boundaries only. You need to take singles and twos, and you need to keep. So you need a different kind of intelligence or game awareness, as they call it. He's too inexperienced as of now. He'll learn it. There's no doubt. He's tremendous. He's got great potential. There is very little doubt about that. I love his shots, clean strike, all that is there. Right. Big event, I would still go with the experienced guy. Maybe I'm biased towards Dinesh Karthik. You know, Karthik is one guy who's played in the pre-Dhoni era and in all likelihood will play in the post-Dhoni era. Yeah. You know, so like what you said, he's finished matches. Okay. He's finished matches. You look at last 12 months and see who is your best guy who can finish a match. And for me, I think I have not yet come across anybody who will come into the list of finishing a match better than Dinesh Karthik. So he bats at 6. Look at the batting lineup then. You have Dhoni batting at 4, Kedar Jadhav at 5, and Dinesh Karthik at 6, and Hardik at 7. You've got an absolutely fantastic batting lineup. So we might play with one spinner, the best spinner kind of thing, either with Kuldeep or Chahal, and then get this guy to bowl in 4 or 5 overs. So we might get sorted. Maybe that could be the balance of the side, but looking at Raidu's form, and I think Kohli is a little biased towards Raidu. He's been given enough of opportunity. So maybe the first few matches, Raidu will bat at number 4 is my guess. Unless he does something disaster out here in the next month or so. The thing is that we're going to play IPL. The chances of injuries are always there. Right. We need to keep all that into account. You know? Right. See, IPL is a very demanding tournament. You travel, play. So when you do something like that, you don't get adequate rest. And if you're going to play 14 matches in 45 days minimum, okay, if you don't make it to the last 4, there is a high possibility that you could get injured. Okay, and in that case, do we have a backup? I think the Indian batting, we have got backups now. But I wouldn't want to get into that area at all, that somebody getting injured. We should definitely get represented by the best 11. That's my take.
Yep. Absolutely right. Good. Words of wisdom. Don't want to get there. Amitabh Chaudhary actually made a very nice statement. He said that we're trying to actually get into talks with franchises, and we are already in talks with the franchises, and the interest of the nation comes first, and the views have been very mutual. So that's a good thing to hear. I'm not sure how true it's going to be when it gets implemented, especially for fast bowlers, especially with Bumrah, Shami, Bhuvi, all of them being the lead of the pack of the franchises that they play for. I think it's going to be very crucial how we pull these international stars out, but I think the management's got this. And knowing Virat Kohli, the captain, I'm pretty sure he might push himself because he's supremely fit and wants to challenge himself, but probably he'll take it light on the others, and that's the way to go. So definitely we would not want any injuries, but yeah, it's a good problem to have, a bunch of people going for the middle order slot. We were talking about the middle order muddle a few months or maybe a year back, and now we at least have a bunch of options. So that's good for Indian cricket. It was awesome, Mahesh. It was very nice to have this show. It was very insightful. Hope you had fun as well.
Oh, I had a lot of fun. And I really look forward to these shows as we go along towards the World Cup. We're going to have a lot of cricket happening now. We're playing Australia through March. Then we've got the IPL, and then we go to the World Cup. So there's a lot of cricket that we can talk about, and I'll be looking forward to such sessions in the future.
Most definitely. We might even review the ODI series midway and see where the series stands, and then the post, my favorite section where we do the report card of all the players. It's always easy to be the teacher than the student. So
that'd be fantastic. Yeah.
Not always, but mostly. So hopefully we do that again. To all our fans out here, please make sure you follow Mahesh and his work. Also follow the HW News channel. And of course, follow us, like, share, and subscribe. This is a collaboration that's going to go on. And the Pe Charcha series is also going to go on. Tomorrow we'll be in talks with Mr. Matiullah Abid. He's the Voice of America Afghanistan cricket expert. So we are discussing the Afghanistan versus Ireland series that's coming up, especially with respect to Afghanistan's take on the World Cup, because this is probably their last preparation to the World Cup and might not be the best one as they're playing Ireland, but they have a bunch of people that they want to try, a lot of youngsters coming through with the T10 leagues and stuff like that. So that'll be fun. So all of you, please join us. And Mahesh, once again, thank you.
My pleasure.
Until we meet next time, enjoy the game of cricket. Enjoy being on the ICN 360 platform. Until next time, it's goodbye to everybody. Take care.
I think it would just be good wicket. There's no grass on it, so there won't be